everyone, it's your Heroescape here today, coming at you with more exciting news from the Heroescape community, specifically on the Champions Circle League Finals. Now, mind you, this is an online Heroescape League, so a little bit different than your normal rolling of dice, but for those of you out there that are trying to scratch the itch of Heroescape, online is a great way to still learn strategic Heroescape moves, play against great players, and just have a lot of fun when you can't get out to your local scene or roll some dice. So today we're going to be covering all the details regarding the finals event that's coming up this next month. Just before we do that, a reminder for those of you out there that haven't gotten your Heroescape, go on to Renegade's website, pre-order your Heroescape. Waves 1, 2, and 3 are still out there to buy. And to support the channel, you can use my affiliate link in the description. Again, that's a great way to just support the channel. So many of you have done that already so far, and it's just been amazing. So really appreciate that. Again, also announcing that we're doing giveaways at the 3,500 subscriber and 4,000 subscriber mark. There's tons of giveaways. The links are in the description for the information on that, as well as at the end of this video, there'll be links for that as well. You got to comment to get in the giveaway for that. But yeah, super exciting. We're just about 100 subscribers away. So to start off this announcement, we're just going to do a brief review of the qualifiers that happened during Season 2, and before we get on to some of the other details. On qualifier number 1, we had Sir Artorius and Pouncing Wolves get the first and second place respectively. This was a very interesting format, solo assassination, where we had to only have one unique hero in your entire army, and if that hero died, you lost the game, which made some really interesting army builds. It was a little bit of a slower event, and one that probably won't do again, but it was fun and intriguing to play. Qualifier number 2 was a good old classic V-Cheese. For those of you that don't know what that means, basically just bring the best army you can bring in the format you're given, which is just your points and your figure limit, and you just bring the top tier, best of the best, creme de la creme, and see who can rise to the top. This time we had Og Blaha going undefeated, taking the number 1 spot, and then Baron Scapius coming in second, which for those two, they got an auto bid into the finals event. For the third qualifier, we had a really unique and fun format that I just had a lot of fun trying to think up armies for, and really cool armies that people came up with, was the non-human wars. That one was basically just bring whatever army you can, but just can't have anyone of the human species. So we had Sheep being undefeated. He brought the Deepworm Drow, which was really cool to see. Deepworm Drow have never gotten love, at least not very much. And so this was a format where they actually did quite well. And we got to see them rise to the top in this one. And second place was Grey Waves. And so we have Sheep and Grey Waves that achieved the qualifier, or the auto bid into the finals event. Qualifier 4, which we just concluded about a week ago now, was a really fun format that had people really thinking. It was, I called it Select a Glyph. And basically you just brought whatever army you wanted, but you got to choose which power glyph and treasure glyph you wanted to be on the map. Now, every map had 2 power glyphs and 2 treasure glyphs, so each person got to pick 1 power glyph and 1 treasure glyph, and they got to choose which side, and the treasure glyph could go within 3 spaces of a power glyph or somewhere in the center of the map. And it basically allowed you to give a treasure glyph to a hero if you have some sort of awesome hero you want to get a little bit of a buff. And it also allowed you to pick a power glyph that could be relevant to your army, or maybe a power glyph that was useless to your opponent. There were a lot of different ways that people played around it, which I thought was really cool. So really fun format. IHA got the first place in that, and I was fortunate enough to get second place, which gave IHA and myself both an auto bid into the finals event. So now that brings us to our top 16 seeded players to participate in the finals event. Now, I have a little bit of an asterisk on this particular top 16 grouping. We had several players who did have to drop out, which was unfortunate. A lot of, other conflicts, family, other events, things going on. People's lives are busy. You can't participate in everything, right? We totally get it. So as per my rules in the past, we basically take the next man up. So for people that had to leave, we basically just shifted everyone up a seed and then brought in the next person that met that qualifying or that that level of play. So if you were waiting to get into the qualifier and trying to win your games, you got an opportunity. So we had 4 people that again were unable to participate. So we have some shifting in the top 16. So if you were to go on the website, there would be a slight difference between what's announced and what you're seeing in the top 16. Now, keep in mind for these seedings, it's completely based off of their overall ranking throughout the season. So I really wanted to reward people who participated a lot throughout the event, namely for people who didn't get an auto bid, right? Again, half of these players are people that did not get first or second in an event. And so what that means is that you had to participate a lot and perform well. You had to win games and perform often in order to get yourself into these seedings. Now, again, some of these auto bids are on the lower end of the top 16 because they maybe participated once or twice and got their auto bid and then didn't participate in the rest of the events the rest of the year. And so some of these players that participated for several events and did well are actually going to seed pretty high in these top 16. So with that said, let's jump in and see who these people are. At number 1, we have Sheep getting the top seed. Sheep has been killing it this season in season 2. He barely made it in on season 1 to the top 16. So he's been working hard this season to show his mettle, and he's here to stay. First seed goes to Sheep. Second seed does go to yours truly, myself. I was able to qualify and also maintain a pretty high win rate throughout the year, and so pretty proud of that, and so I got the second seed. Number 3, we have Pouncing Wolves. Now, you'll remember Pouncing Wolves actually was the winner of the Champions Circle League Season 1 last year, and so he ranks in at the top near the top seeding at number 3. Number 4, Chris Perkins. Chris Perkins is a well-known name in our community. He's performed well in just about every event that you could imagine in HeroScape, and so he's ranking in the top 4 here. Chris Perkins. Number 5, Dysol. Dysol is another top-ranked HeroScape player, making it a number 5 for the CCL. Going to be exciting. Number 6, Baron Scapius, making it in, performing really well throughout actually season 1 and season 2, and making another good showing here at number 6. Number 7, Sir Artorias. Sir Artorias, again, was one of those auto bids. Again, showing a strong performance and will be coming in at number 7. Number 8, Rye Guy, another fellow streamer, is coming in strong at number 8. The number 9 seed, IHA. IHA qualified by getting first place in the 4th qualifier just a week ago. And has performed well and will be excited to see how he does. Coming in at number 10, Shurig. Shurig is a prolific map maker in the community, but it also knows how to win games, so he'll be coming in at number 10 for the CCL. 11, Moon Knight, one of our international players, did quite well last year and qualified for the finals as well. 12, Og Blaha. I'm going to give him a hard time because he qualified and then dipped for the rest of the year. He qualified and did well, got his name in the finals, but slots in at number 12. Lucky number 13 ends up being Mega Silver. We have Mega Silver coming in, qualifying, and then I think as well dipped. Again, people's lives are busy, get it, but he does come in a little bit lower, even though he did get an auto bid. Number 14, we have Swarm. Now, Swarm was fortunate enough to be able to get the next man up when some people had to dip and leave the CCL, so Swarm gets to join the ranks of the final, as does number 15 and 16. We've got Quazzle at number 15 and number 16, Moorsbane. So we're going to have some dark horses here for you guys to bet on, and it's going to be an exciting round here as we see these players get an opportunity to show what they've got. And now we cover the exciting part, which is all the prizes. Before we jump into prizes, let's just quickly cover our sponsors. For those that have been a wonderful, opportunity to work with. We've got Renegade Games, again, coming in the clutch to help sponsor the prizing for our CCL final. They're going to sponsor a pre-painted Army expansion pack from Wave 2 for the first place prize. It's going to be your choice. You can pick whether it's the Viceroy and the Wraith Riders or the Kiri. You get to pick whichever pre-painted box, new in box, they'll ship it to you. And second place will get the same thing, but an unpainted version. So super excited and grateful for Renegade Games stepping up and, again, supporting Heroescape events, specifically the CCL final. The rest of the sponsors are Bert25 in the community, Joe Carr, Roguescaper, High Ground Tiles, Trexie 3D, and Stuff by Hags. All of those have been great sponsors for Heroescape, specifically the CCL event. And so let's cover the prizes that they're going to be handing out here as well. In addition to Renegade's giveaways, I'm going to be giving a $50 cash prize to the winner of the first place. We've got Bert25 that will be providing a custom dice bowl or tower or outcrop set for the first place finals placer. We've got Trexie 3D, who will be providing a $25 store credit to his online store. We'll be doing my custom CCL dice that you'll be getting as well. Let's just take a look at those here really quick. You've got the CCL symbol there. You've got the Somlin dragon on the one side, and then the admittedly the old symbol, old logo symbol with the Sir Heroescape helmet there. I have since updated my logo, but these are still awesome dice, so you got to have some of that. So you're going to get a dice set of those, 12 dice. As well, we have High Ground Tiles, who will be providing these awesome CCL order markers. You'll notice they have that CCL symbol, and they're a really cool little design there, just like the dice and the coloring as well. So you're going to get an awesome set to play with. Additionally, you're going to get $5 of store credit to Stuff by Hags, which is an Etsy store by Rye Guy. If you've been saving up all year round, you get to add that to your list of things that you can use in his store. He's also going to be providing an alternate card art for a list of units that he's done, which there's some really cool alternate card art that he's done. So get excited for that. Joe Carr has been a great person to work with, as he's provided NIB sets for Heroescape all year round. And the winner of the CCL final will get a new inbox castle set. I've got it right over here. I'm going to ship it out to you once you get it. But a new inbox castle set is yours to hold if you get first. And then last but not least, Roguescaper, who's been a great person to work with in prizing this year, will also be providing first place with a painted hero or squad of your choice. These are 3D paints that he does, prints those out, gets those painted up. He's a great painter. I mean, Renegade has worked with him to have him do videos and tutorials. And so by all means, this is a great prize to have. And for second place, as we've already discussed, you'll be getting an unpainted version of the army packs from Renegade, but you'll also be getting $15 store credit from Trexie 3D, a treasure glyph set from Joe Carr, who provided that as well, and then a 3D printed and painted squad of Fjorlag spiders from Roguescaper. So get excited. First place and second place have some amazing prizes to get excited about. So that's the prizes. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Renegade, and all the other list of people that have provided all year round prizing, as well as for the finals. This is the stuff we're fighting for. Format. This, of course, is something that everyone wants to know, so you can start using that brain to figure out what you're going to do. Now, the finals format is, we've been doing a lot of draft. I did a draft last year, and draft in general is super fun. I really like it. It helps kind of ideally, or the idea behind it is to help level the playing field a little bit, right? It's a skill to be able to draft well, but also if you have a unit and you show up to a game and then all of a sudden you realize you just got a bad matchup and you lose the game, it feels bad. So draft theoretically helps with that, where you can kind of pick and choose and hopefully have answers to other units. Now, while that's good, I also really like just trying to figure out the meta, build an army that you like, and then just play test the heck out of that army and then show up and play it. So I tried to make a little bit of a mix to that a little bit, where I think this format is going to lend itself to being able to come up with something you're comfortable with, but also give you the opportunity to make adjustments based off of matchups, which hopefully should help, again, that balancing act feeling that draft sometimes brings. So we're calling it the reserves. This format is you're going to bring a core army of 550 points and no more than 20 figures. Now that's your core army. That's what you're building. Then you're going to have a reserve army that's 200 points and no more than 10 figures. Okay, now the way that this works is at the beginning of the game, you're going to secretly decide how your army composition is going to end up for your core army. And so you and your opponent are secretly going to say, okay, well, I've got my 550 point core army, and then I've got my 200 reserve army. You can mix and match whatever you want as long as the core army is no more than 550 points and 20 figures. So if you have a core army of, I don't know, whatever, a bunch of rats in range, whatever you want to do, and then you go up against something with special attackers and you realize rats aren't going to be very good, well, maybe you plan in that reserve army to have something that's good into that counter, right? So whatever that ends up being, you've got 200 points to draft reserves. Now, all the specifics of that, we can get into later. If there's corner cases or niche things, ask the questions on the Discord. By all means, we can have a more in-depth conversation. But that's the gist of it. Essentially, you bring your core army, you have a reserve army. Before the game, you see what your opponent's core army and their reserves are, and then you have to decide, do I like my core? Am I going to leave it? Or do I want to switch out a couple pieces, right? Maybe switch out a squad and add in a squad from the reserves, or switch out a hero, add in a different hero. There's some really cool, fun things you can do with that to play around how that's going to operate. Now, the specifics of the format, it's going to be Delta. Okay, so you're going to have the adjusted pricing so that, things are a little bit more balanced. We're also going to allow VC as well as AOA. And I just kind of want the whole board to be open. I want to see what people come up with. Additionally, we're going to institute the rule of 12 restriction. A rule of 12 will mean that you can't have any more than 12 of a common figure. I did want to avoid a situation where people can just spam a ton of squads with like one hero. And some of those games just end up taking a lot of time. And anyway, it's just, I want there to be a little bit more variance in what people can bring. And I think that helps. I think rule of 12 helps with some of that. So you can still bring, squad figures, but in truth, you can only get 3 squads of a 4-man squad, and you can only get 4 squads of a 3-man squad. So get your army brains on and start thinking up what you want to do with this format, because it's going to be exciting. And now for map selection. Y'all are excited about this. I am too. I think it's kind of funny, or not necessarily funny, but very convenient how the finals map selection actually is a little bit easier than the rest of the year. Because the rest of the year, I'm trying to just look at a bunch of different, map types and new maps, old maps, whatever, good maps, and just get a sense of what's going to work for the format. But in the finals, what we've decided is really to take feedback from the participants in the qualifiers and get an idea of the best maps from the season and use those maps. And so we've, just like last year, doing the same thing. We used 22 maps. Last year we did 24. We used 22 maps this year for season 2. And of those 22, I'm going to be selecting 6 again. And now those 6 were the most popular maps in the responses from the survey that I sent out. I sent out a survey and just said, hey, did you participate in these qualifiers? If you did, do you want to see this map in the finals? Yes or no? Or, maybe, meh, like, how did you feel about it? Was it okay? Was it kind of meh? And then basically just took people's feedback on the best maps. And there really were 6 of the best maps that people wanted to see in the finals. I found it very interesting what those maps ended up being, because as you'll see here, half of those maps are lava maps. And so it's going to be exciting because lava always creates interesting decision points throughout a game. And so we're going to get to see some fun stuff for the finals. So to start us off, we have a map that we used in Qualifier 4, Olympus. Olympus, going to be a fun lava map. Got some road on there too, so it should be fun. We've got Alta. Alta is a personal favorite of mine. This one has been around for a while now, actually, and has gotten some good play in a lot of events that I participated in. I always felt really good about how games have gone on that map. So excited to have that one in the pool. We have Engine. Engine has been a fun lava map. I've played on this map as well, and been surprised that even though it's very open, I feel like it plays pretty evenly. Got some fun dynamic decisions with the height, with the lava, with the glyphs and the ruins. I feel pretty good about the pick on this one, and everyone else seemed to like it as well. Canary. Canary was recently added to the Wargrounds of Scape, so it's got the stamp of approval from a lot of members of the community. Admittedly, is not my favorite map. I actually just haven't been the craziest about it. That's just personal preference. But it is a very well-loved map by many, and so I'm happy to add that as a finals map. Tabasco. Now, Tabasco is a map that I have designed. It's actually been around for a while now, and I've been happy to see it well received, and it was, again, well received for feedback during the survey, so it's going to be another fun lava map with some road on there as well. And then last but not least, Neve Roads. Again, this is a map that I have designed. I wish that I could say that I'm unbiased, but clearly I'm biased. You know, 2 maps made it into the final selection for the map selection, but these were 2 maps that many people said they would like to see in the finals, and so I'm happy to select those as well. But truth be told, I was happy with how these maps turned out. You know, I've played on them several times, and I do think that they are going to be a good balanced map to show in the finals. So we've got Neve Roads, Tabasco, Olympus, Canary, Engine, and Alta making up the 6 maps for the final. We will have new glyphs on each of those, so be looking out for the glyph assignments on those maps as well. Also worth noting, just like last year, we will have a map ban for the semifinal and the final. I thought that worked out really well. I think it's another way to just kind of help balance, you know, just how the finals, you know, in a high-level competitive format are gonna play. Some armies and some matchups can just get really destroyed by, you know, certain maps, and so this hopefully helps balance that a little bit. So again, the way that's going to work is very simply going to have the highest seed take the first ban. We'll have the second, you know, the opponent do 2 bans, and then the first higher seed do the 4th ban, and then after that, I'm just going to do a D20 to pick between the last 2 maps. And determine what the maps are going to be. So that's going to be the semis and the finals as a quick and easy way to just help hopefully balance the way those games are going to go. Now for logistics. Everyone loves logistics. These always take a little bit of time, but they are important. So December 7th at 11 a.m. Central is when we're going to hold the finals. Please, for all of you that said you can participate, do put it on your calendar. Hopefully there aren't any last minute changes. Obviously we'll roll with the punches if there are, and that's okay. But we do want to avoid any type of last minute changes for, you know, the matchups, for scheduling, things like that. So December 7th at 11 a.m. Central is when we're going to kick off. We're going to be kicking off in the Heroescape Discord using heroescape.org. For those of you that want to watch and just consume the content, I will be live streaming as well as several others. Dysol will be live streaming, I assume. Ryguy, I assume, will also be live streaming. 10 Points Under, I believe, does like to do videos. I don't know if he will be doing live streams, but typically he'll do videos of games and then later on post them. So there will be content creators providing content to you live. If you're not particularly interested in watching the live games, or you want to kind of keep an eye on all the games, by all means, jump on to heroescape.org, and you'll have links to each game there in the matchups that you can view the games live kind of on your own. So again, going to be a great way to consume Heroescape that day. In terms of how do we get armies and matchups and all these things, the armies are going to go live on, the 16th, November 16th. So November 16th is a Saturday at 9 a.m. You're going to be able to submit your army. You'll have a week. You don't have to do it on the 16th, but you'll have a week to submit your army for those of you that are participating, because on November 23rd, 2 weeks before the event starts, I'm going to go ahead and release the matchups, we'll know the matchups beforehand, but we'll release the armies at that time. And so what you're going to have is you're going to have 2 weeks to be able to know who your opponent is and know what those armies are. And you'll have 2 weeks to theoryscape, to practice, to prepare. and it's going to be a great event. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what people come up with, and really just have fun talking, discussing, and thinking through strategies. So get excited. It's just coming around the corner here. And now for the bracket challenge information. The bracket challenge is also a fun and exciting portion of this whole thing. I'm going to require you to submit it either on the Discord where I can see it and save it, or to my email, heroescaperforlife@gmail.com. You'll be able to submit it as early as the 23rd once we release those armies, but that's when we're going to have you submit it, and no later than the day before the event. So really, I don't want to be taking these on this morning of the 7th. Things will be busy that morning. I'll probably have some leeway if you really can't get it in until last minute, but do try to get it to me by the December 6th. At the very least, it has to be in before the event starts. There's no way I'm taking anyone's submissions after the event starts. But do get those in. You'll have 2 weeks to do it. But the bracket challenge is going to be exciting. It's going to be very simple. Same as last year. Round 1, you get 1 point. Round 2, you get 2 points. Round 3, you get 4 points. And round 4, you get 8 points if you get it right. We'll basically score everyone's bracket and see who got the top. And the winner of the bracket challenge also gets a set of CCL dice, as well as a set of those custom order markers to go along with them. So another way to just excite the community for people who are participating in the event, as a way to try and get a set of dice, as well as people who just want to watch and have fun, just participating in that way as a viewer and as an audience member. So hopefully for those of you out there that have nothing else to do and aren't participating can still enjoy theoryscaping and figuring out what the winners might look like, and maybe you'll get a cool set of custom dice. All right, well, now in closing, yes, it has been a long video, and hopefully you watched this on 1.5 or 2.0 and still understood all the things that are going on, because I know how that goes. But truly, I do want to thank you all for an amazing season 2. We're coming in on the final in just a few weeks, and so just want to make sure that all the information is out there so you guys can prepare, get this scheduled, get excited, and get ready. So if you have any questions, let me know on the Discord, so Heroescape Discord. By all means, that's where we're going to try and keep you updated for those of you that are participating, for those of you that want to just participate as an audience member or keep your ear to what's going on. Get on the Heroescape Discord. I'll try to keep updates on the YouTube channel as well. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I tried to cover everything here. But again, ask questions either in the comments or on the Sir Heroescape Discord if there's anything that I missed. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.